Hi, and welcome to another episode of Sidequest Saturdays. I'm Philip, and today in VR, we're going to play cricket. So let's put the headset on and try it out. Alright, so here we are in Cover Drive Cricket. And as you can see, I'm only using one controller because really only one is needed. Maybe that's my bad. Maybe I should be using two, but I've never played cricket before, and I could play this game just fine with the one. You can see there's my hand over there. When you first launch the game, one thing that's nice, especially for me as an American, is it does give you a page like, hey, if you've never played cricket before, click this, and open some instructions in the browser on how to play. I'm not sure why they chose to do that instead of making it in-game somewhere to read, but it wasn't that intrusive. You know, I had to leave the game, load it on a web page, was able to read. Okay, I kind of get an idea of how to play cricket now, and then I had to relaunch the game. When you first play, I think, if I remember right, because I just played this a little bit ago, but it didn't start here. I think it actually started you in the game to kind of just get going. But once I exited and came to the main menu, I was able to link my Oculus profile. So here you can kind of see stats, game stats, achievements, leaderboards. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, opt in to view leaderboards. Nothing for me. Okay. Help? Okay, I don't need that. All right. So, I'm gonna give. This is also, not only is this for review for you all to decide to go out and buy this, but I also want to kind of give this as feedback to the dev, and it's just easier for me to do it in video form too. I don't know anything about cricket, but when you start out in target challenge. Let's try that out. You start out as super over, and you start out in village difficulty with the bowler right arm slow. I tell you, I finally understand why they call them bowlers now, because unlike American baseball, you have to hit the ball before it hits the ground, in the air. But here, you're getting it kind of on the bounce, so it's very interesting. It's literally my first time playing cricket ever was in this VR headset just within the last hour. It is cool that starting out they give you the option of using an extra wide cricket bat, so that's cool. So I can pick it up. I don't really know how you're supposed to hold the bat, because this is just how I would normally hold my controller, and that just feels weird to swing for me. So after a while, I did kind of let go, and I turned it like this. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and I'll show you. You just pull the index trigger here, and that'll give us our first, what do they call, a bowl? Bounce, and I hit it. All right, so the physics for this, I feel like, are pretty dialed in. It works pretty well. I've never played cricket before, but don't play in village difficulty. It's just, it's too easy. I've never played cricket before, and it's just too much. Don't play in village difficulty. So let's go to, no, not settings. Let's go back to play. And I went ahead and bumped it up to pro, but I also bumped it up to a fast bowler. I am not ready for that. So just bump it on up to pro. Take it at the pro level. Notice you don't get the fatter bat. You get stuck with, I guess, what would be considered a standard bat. All right. And so I got sticky grip, so I can roll my controller over a bit. And let's see how we do now on pro. All right, so pro, that's not a good example of one, but pro, it's going to give you, come on. Less forgiving. I think it's, what I noticed when I played it earlier was just when I do hit it, it's, oh, I did hit it. Oh, he caught it. I said I did hit it, it just doesn't go as far. In Village, it's just, I hit so many, I don't know what they call them in cricket. I considered them home runs. But I hit so many into the stands in Village mode. It was just, it really wasn't any fun anymore. So Pro mode is definitely where it's at. I'd like to give some feedback here. I'm not going to play anymore because there's really not much else to show. I mean, there's a bowler, they throw stuff, you hit stuff. In my opinion, as never playing cricket before, this is a this is a cricket simulator, and it's batting practice. I'm so sorry, I don't know what I'm not really called the batter, right? What am I really called? But a couple pieces of feedback. So this is on App Lab now. which is awesome and amazing. Congratulations, developer, that you're on App Lab. But it still feels kind of demo-y. Not the gameplay. I mean, it feels like the physics are down and whatnot. But the things that make it feel kind of demo-y to me is these UI screens. They don't feel polished yet. And to be honest, I actually recognize this asset. I purchased it too on one of the first games I started developing, my Frisbee golf game. When I was trying to figure out UI and VR, I used this. This looks very similar to me. But also, like, up in the scoreboard up there, I don't know if you can tell on recording, but it's very aliased. I can't read anything in that scoreboard. And I'm on an Oculus Quest 1. I don't know if the Quest 2 is any different. But there's a lot of aliasing in the crowd too. So I don't know if the Quest 1 can handle more anti-aliasing, if there's a way to bump that up at all. Also, the colors to me seem a bit washed out. It looks like I'm playing on the go. Generally, when I put the headset on the Quest, everything just, the darks pop more, the whites pop. There's much more to see. It just seems more real. This is very Easter eggy color, like pastel-y feeling. I don't really feel like I get pop. Really, the most pop I get is from this menu system here with the big red buttons. But I don't know if maybe, oops. I don't know if, I mean, that looks like Text Mesh Pro in Unity, but I cannot see it from here. I just don't know if maybe it just has to get moved closer or what, but I can't read really any of that. One other feedback that I would like, just as somebody who isn't really looking for a cricket simulator for batting practice, what would make it more exciting for me, it's like in the difficulty, you have all these different settings, and I was in their Discord tonight and seeing some similar suggestions, but not quite. I would like a campaign mode. I think a campaign mode could really make this feel more like a full-fledged game, to where you're playing in the village. I mean, what would that look like at village difficulty? What would that look like? Maybe a smaller field, maybe someone's backyard. So when you're hitting those home runs, maybe don't make it to where the home runs have to go as far. And again, I apologize for calling them home runs. Maybe don't make them seem like they have to go as far, but because it'll be a much smaller field. So that would be really cool to work your way up campaign-wise, to where once you win the Village Cup, then you move up to first 11, then county, then pro. And then it'd be cool to see the rings move up, kind of like Thrill of the Fight. If you've seen the Thrill of the Fight boxing game on the Quest, as you move up through the opponents, the rings get bigger and bigger and bigger. So that would be really cool, I think, would be like here in the village mode when you're playing to play on like in your backyard, because you're not, I can't imagine if you're in a village playing that you have this huge stadium with this many people showing up. I mean, this is a lot of grass. I would think it would be, you could still have the same physics that you use for pro, but you just don't have to hit it as far. I mean, look at that. I mean, I'm a noob, and I just hit it into the sky. So I think you could keep the physics the same for all the difficulty levels, but make the AI, I guess, better at fielding, make the grounds smaller when you're playing village. But I'm just repeating myself over and over again. So I'm not even going to take my headset off to talk about this again. Today's date is the 23rd while I'm filming this. Hopefully this airs tomorrow, the 24th, on Saturday. And if it does, the way I got this game was in, I can't remember what it's called, but if you haven't heard about it, you can get App Lab games right now. I think the 24th is the last day, and they're going to give you a random 3 games, and you get them for like 70 to 90% off. So I got this game and 2 others for like $6. Sweet deal. I really wanted to try one of the cricket games on Quest, but I'm like, don't know if I want to spend the $10 yet. So I'll try to put that information in the description, but if you're watching this on Saturday the 24th, I mean, you got to pull the trigger today, because I'm pretty sure that instant I actually bought 2 different 3-packs, and glad I did. Really excited to try those App Lab games. So like, comment, subscribe, put in the comments how dumb I am for not knowing what cricket is. But if you're excited for a cricket game, I mean, it feels good. It plays nice. Go get it and check out their Discord, give the developer feedback, and I'm going to try to Ah, I failed. All right. Well, until next week, we'll see ya.